You know, there's nothing like being in the green room, and I believe right now we're really in the green room. Like she has a little bit of green behind her, so it looks like there's some green going on, and there's this long, exhausted bio that you already have in front of you. But I'm not going to read that because I haven't done that, so I'm not going to break that tradition now. So I'm going to look over and I'm going to ask Jill Lebofsky if she'll take a moment and tell us, number one, Jill, they want to know who are you, and number two, more importantly, what are you up to these days?
Well, awesome. So thank you so much, Shay, for having me on here. I've watched many of your episodes and I just love your high energy and how fun it is. So I am excited to be here with you for sure. And just to be here with your audience, sharing my message. But who am I? First, last, always, I am a wife of 23 years, a mom, a dog mom to two, and I live here in sunny South Florida. But in my business world, I have, over the years, I've become a certified health coach, a certified Pilates instructor, an essential oils educator. I'm also the two-time best-selling author, and I'm known in the world as the Midlife Mojo Master, because my mission is just to spread my message of living a vibrant, healthy life for midlife women around the world. You know, there's this perception in society of women over 40 being fat and frumpy, and I just want to change that, let them know that they're sexy, vibrant, and they can do anything. You know, when I was first starting my business, I was trying to figure out a good name for it. And, you know, I looked up the word midlife in the dictionary, and you're not going to believe this, Shay, but it actually said the wrong side of 40. And I was like,
No
what?
way.
Could not believe it. And so I was like, okay, definitely have to change this message. And so I named my business Midlife Mojo, specifically because mojo means magic. And that's what I want women to feel: magic, adventure, passion. That's what our second half of life should feel like. We should be thriving. And so through my webinars, my courses, my books, my events, I just go and I share natural wellness tips to people and wellness, you know, ideas so that they too can just implement these small changes that have these big results, you know, and using the natural solutions to do it. And that's my world.
You know, I like that. Number one, be in your world. I think that's pretty cool. But let me just ask a question if I can, because we're like in the green room, right? And folks want to know, you know, why did you pick this topic? Like, okay, this is going to help entrepreneurs, and we have a lot of speakers and authors and coaches and trainers and network marketers that kind of tune in. They might be wanting, Shay, what is she going to talk about that's going to help us really skyrocket our results? Take a moment, if you would, and talk about why you selected this topic.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. Well, first of all, I myself have been, I always call an entrepreneur for 15 years. I call myself a Jill of all trades. So I have done a lot of things. And I absolutely know that if you are not putting your health first, nothing else works, right? If your body isn't working, nothing else is working. And so, you know, that's what I have found, that with, you know, I think they say 54% of, you know, entrepreneurs right now are over 50. And that was actually in 2019. So with this year, gosh knows that's got to be more. And I think 44% of people over 50, men and women, are obese. And we just know that when you are overweight, you're more tired, more sick, not as productive. So I want to be able just to go and share, let entrepreneurs know that it's not all about the grind, right? Doing more, working hard. Are you going to get it done? Maybe, but not as easily or as, you know, as good as you could have had you been feeling your best, and, you know, and feeling that vibrancy. So that's for, you know, for entrepreneurs. I just want them to know that, you know, for me, your health is your true wealth. And if you don't start there, then nothing else is going to work for you.
Nothing else is going to work for you. Those folks out there like Mary Ellen, thanks for joining, by the way. Gwendolyn is watching. Gwendolyn, it's always a pleasure. Joan, I see you out there. She's in the house. Look, you're at the right place at the right time. We're going to get started on the other side. Don't worry. I'm going to ask her what are these three practices. But more importantly, I'm going to find out what's her big why. Like, why is she so passionate about this? And why do we have to start off the year this way? Don't worry. We'll be back in 5. It's my favorite part. 4, 3, 2, 1. We got a show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back and get started.
promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to really provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always say you have 3 visions, I believe. 3 visions. I believe first you have a vision for yourself. You know how you are about this time of the year. There's a way you want to look. Jill's going to talk about that, by the way. A way you want to feel. Hopefully she'll get into that as well. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue, and you're at the right place. And then the second vision you have is you have a vision for your loved ones. And maybe you're fine right now. But maybe you're looking at someone else who needs to improve the quality of their health. Maybe you're looking at someone else who wants to make sure that they're taken care of. Maybe you want to send your kids to a school of your choice. Maybe you want to take some vacations. I mean, Jill and I were talking before we got started about some cool things we've been able to do. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. And then I believe there's a third vision you have, Pam. I believe there's a third vision you have, Pamela. And that's a vision for the people you were, that's right, called to serve. And I like to use the analogy of Noah in the Bible. Now, you don't have to be a believer, but I happen to be one, by the way. And Noah, if you imagine it, Noah gets started, and he's on this journey, and Noah has to get going. And think about it, right before Noah gets started, he has the experience, he has the expertise from God, he's ready, and there's a knock at the door. Boom, boom, boom. What's going on? Noah, over here, my man, over here, look, oh, here. Yes, what's going on? There are no hammers in the house. Cool. No hammers, I'll be just fine. Noah, over here. Look, what's going on? There are no nails either, man. Might as well tell you that. No hammer, no nails. You think I would panic, but I'm going to be relaxed. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to chill. I'll be okay. Noah, I'm sorry to report over here, my man. But there's also no people and there's no wood. Good luck on this mission. And baby, that's you. You're ready to get going. You got a big heart. You've got everything you need, but you need more focus. You need more energy. You need more vitality. You need health and wellness, and you need resources. With that being said, we have the one and only Jill in the house. What's going on, Jill? How are you?
I am fantastic and so excited to be here and share and just bask in your glow here a little bit and share with you.
Well, you know, I've got to address the elephant of the room, right? I got to address the elephant in the room because we're talking to entrepreneurs, and this can't be the first time. And they're not all entrepreneurs, by the way. There's some folks that are single moms. There are single dads. There's married couples out there. And you're coming back and saying wellness. And it's not the first time. So let me just ask the challenge. Let me ask the question. What's up, Sean? Thanks for joining, by the way. Pamela, it's always a pleasure. What's the biggest challenge? And I know it's a loaded question. Hopefully you can handle this. What's the biggest challenge facing entrepreneurs in terms of taking care of their health and their wellness? What challenges do they face doing that?
You know, I think for most entrepreneurs, you know, the challenge is we're it, right? We do it all, right? Mm-hmm. We do the billing, we do the graphics, we do the coaching. There's just nothing we don't do. We last minute panic for everything. And so, you know, when we're talking about getting your wellness in order, you know, for entrepreneurs, it's really what they need to do. It is the starting place of everything. And the challenge they face in this is that they don't have the time, right? And because they don't have the time to focus on their wellness, then their wellness isn't all that great, so they don't have the energy. And then because they don't have the energy, maybe they're not feeling all that good, they don't have the confidence to go out there and shine and be their best self. So what I feel like for entrepreneurs, you know, wellness to me is the foundation for their business. You know, you talked about needing these resources in order to do your business. Your health is your greatest resource. And so, you know, that to me is the priority. And so we have to kind of flip that switch of where are our priorities And your wellness shouldn't be your challenge. That should be your starting point.
So what do you say to the person that's watching right now? It could be a single mom, could be a single dad, it could be someone that's busy, and they're like, okay, I don't know if Jill understands this, but I'm taking care of my kids. I don't know if Jill understands this. I'm also taking care of my family. I don't know if Jill gets this right now, but I'm also a full-time worker. I work for someone. I've got to produce. And I don't know if Jill understands this, but Shay, I'm also an entrepreneur. So I've got a lot going on. And here recently, in the middle of this craziness going home, I'm now a wife, I'm now a mom, I'm now a school teacher, I'm now an administrator, I'm now a full-time chef. Shay, seriously, you got to ask her the question, what does she say to us folks that are busy? Because that's the only reason I really hasn't done it. Now, I know you're going to talk about the 3 easy wellness practices. We'll get into all that fancy stuff. But what do you say to the person's like, I'm just too busy. I got too much going on.
So I always say, you can either be busy now, and put your health aside, or you can, take the time later on when you're sick in the doctor and you're not being able to do it. So for me, it is, I believe me, I get it. I have older parents I take care of. I've got teenagers, I'm running around, doing all of my stuff as well, right? I mean, mom, right? We balance a lot on our plates all of the time. And so, first of all, it just has to be, I always say you've got to choose you, right? You have to choose you first. That is just the most important thing. And in these tips that I am going to share in just a little bit, I promise you, I am going to show you like the easiest way to find your time and be able to do these practices. But the first thing always comes with choosing yourself first and just saying, I'm worth it. And for men, sometimes it's a little bit easier. Women, we find a little bit harder to put ourselves first. And so that's really why I even created my Midlife Mojo business, to kind of be this champion for midlife women, to be this voice, to help her be seen and be heard, and to know that, you can do all of this, but you can also look and feel your best while you're doing it.
I love it. Now, I'm listening to them. I can't hear them, but I can imagine you guys are saying that. Folks out there like Michelle, who's watching, Martha B. Moore, who's out there. And I'm going to ask her right now, because some of you are thinking, Shay, I heard all this. I know all this. What would she tell someone like me? I got to get back on track. Like, I fell off the bandwagon. Okay, I'm going to answer that question in a moment. What suggestions she has for those folks that want to get back on the bandwagon. But before we do that, you're not alone. So do me a favor. If you're out there right now, you have my permission and you have Jill's permission to pay this message forward. Now, how do you pay this message forward? We believe in the giver's economy. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. So take that link, hit the share button, hit the watch party button, copy the link, and paste it onto your Facebook page, paste it onto LinkedIn. If you're watching live, put it into social media. Pay this message forward. So please hit the share button right now. Please hit the forward button right now and pay this message forward. Bless someone else. All right, Jill, I know you're going to get into 3 easy practices. We get that. But they want to know right now, look, they're just off track. So what did you say to that person that's like ready to get back on track? They didn't do it yesterday, but they're going to do it today. What's the fastest, easiest way to get back on track again?
The fastest way to do it is literally to do it. Right? I mean, to not say, I'm going to do it a little bit later, I'm going to do it this day, that day, but to literally do it. So one of the tips I will be sharing a little later is specifically about on intermittent fasting and why I think it's like the ideal lifestyle for the entrepreneur. And so when I talk about people, how can you start and how can you get back on track? I always literally say at the end of your last meal, you can get back on track. I mean, let's face it, this has been a tough year for everybody. You've probably heard people talk about, I would say, the quarantine 15. Then we just had all these holidays going on. It's easy to have said, okay, I'm going to start in 2021. And well, guess what? We're on day 8 already. And it's like, okay, what do I do? Where do I start? So it's literally just taking that moment and deciding now. I'm a big user of essential oils. And so for me, those are things that can just help me kind of reset my mind in that moment, opening them up, taking a whiff, and in that moment, getting motivated and just saying, now is the time.
Now is the time. Okay, I promise you. What's up, Bravina, she was on here earlier. She's back on again. She popped on earlier. Yes, we're here. I got your message before. No, we are live. This is live. You got the one and only Jill on the other side. Jill, I promise we're going to get into the 3 ways to easy wellness ways that people can do, but they might be curious, what's Jill's backstory, Shay? I got the thing. I think some people got a chance to read it. Some people are watching, listening to the podcast. Some folks on Apple TV right now, and they're tuning in. They're like, "Do you mind, Jill? I should have probably asked you this in the beginning. Can you take a moment or two and tell people a little bit about the backstory that led you to where you are now? I mean, you didn't just watch a YouTube video, I don't think, and showed up and says, "Well, here's some things you need to do." So let's slow down for a moment if we can, and take a minute and tell them a little bit about your backstory that leads to where you are now and why you're so passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it started, I always say, 20, I just turned 50 this past year.
Yay! Welcome to the club! AARP card in the house!
50 and fabulous, I say. So, and back in my early 20s, I had started my very first job. I have my master's degree in speech therapy. Mm-hmm. And so I was traveling for a couple of years around the country and working in a lot of skilled nursing homes, working with patients who had strokes, who had heart disease, other degenerative diseases, who had trouble speaking, who had trouble swallowing, eating. And as a young person, that really opened my eyes when I started to realize that so much of what I was seeing was preventable. It was just really, a lot of it was due just to obesity, a lot of their complications. And I look back now, and I remember thinking, well, these are older people, right? I was in the skilled nursing. But now when I think back, a lot of them were in their 50s and their 60s, my age. And that was like really kind of, scary to me. And so somewhere, along the line, I just realized that, I needed to get, I wanted to get into more preventative wellness. I wanted to help people change their lifestyles because I felt like that could prevent ending up in your 50s and 60s in some kind of nursing home. So that was kind of how I started my whole kind of health and wellness journey. I got my own health and wellness in order. I lost my own weight. And I always tell my clients, I'm just a couple steps ahead of you. I just take something that I learned that excites me, that's worked for me, and I go out there and I share. So that's what I did. I went out and I got my health coaching certification. I got my Pilates certification. I was introduced to essential oils, and for 6 years, I've done so much education on that. But what really got me, my kind of zone is with midlife women. And what really got me there was I was, about 5 years ago struggling with my own health issues that a lot of women in their 40s do, a lot of hormonal issues. And I went to my doctor and I asked him and I told him, I don't feel myself. I've gained all this weight. I said, I can't remember anything. I'm moody all the time. Like, what can I do? And honestly, he told me that if you're still getting your period, I'm sorry, you're just in the throes of perimenopause, nothing I can do, go home. And that was not acceptable to me. I was not feeling good. I was not myself. I'm always a positive, upbeat person, and I just didn't even recognize myself. So I turned to like the one thing that I knew had worked for me in my health and wellness in the past, and that was my healthy eating and my oils. And so in using those, I was able to get my hormonal balance under control and feel better. And so I wrote my very first book, No Sweat, It's Just Menopause, Eating, Exercise, and Essential Oils for a Healthy Change. But I still was struggling with my weight. It was like the one thing I just couldn't, change. And I had all the tools. I've been teaching weight loss for years. And then I was introduced to intermittent fasting right about the time my first book came out. And after I implemented that lifestyle, I was able to lose my weight. And I wrote my second book, Melt the Midlife Middle, a beginner's guide for women to the intermittent fasting and essential oils lifestyle. And then from there, I just had all these women kind of coming out of the woodwork, sharing their things that maybe they hadn't told anybody else, things I would have never known. And I realized how many women were truly like suffering in silence, feeling like they were alone, feeling they couldn't turn to their doctor. There was nothing they could do. And so that's when I knew that it was more than just about my books and giving people information. It was about truly just being a support place for them and a friend along the way.
A friend along the way. Thanks so much for sharing. Thanks for being so authentic with us. Certainly appreciate that. So let's jump in there. You said there are 3 easy wellness practices to actually skyrocket your business. Please take a moment and share what's one of them And you that's watching, you that's listening, you can pay this message forward. She's going to go over that now. And how do you do that? How do you give a digital applause right now? Just hit the share button or grab the link and pay it forward to your network. Pay it forward to your private group. Pay it forward on your page. And bless someone else right now that's like, I need the energy. I need the vitality. I need the focus, because Jill Lebofsky will change your life if you let her. Over to you, Jill.
Oh, I love it. I will change your life if you let me. And so I said earlier that, entrepreneurs really need three things, right? They need more time, they need more physical and mental energy, and I believe they need more confidence too, to really go out there and do what they have to do. So my first tip kind of tackles that first thing of more time, and you touched on it a little bit already, but that I feel that for entrepreneurs who really, we are working around the clock, that you need to adopt an intermittent fasting lifestyle, right? It is the best fit for the entrepreneur. I always say it's the best fit for the midlife woman, but it's also the best fit for the entrepreneur. And in my book, Melt the Midlife Middle, I give a lot of tips in order how to do intermittent fasting, but I'm just going to take a quick moment just to give you a little bit about what it is for you who aren't familiar with it. Most of the people by now have heard that term, but they're not 100% sure of what it is. And so intermittent fasting to me is all about when you eat, not what you eat. And there are different methods out there that you can do, but I specifically adhere to what's called the 16-8 method. I think it's the most natural method of eating, the natural way of eating if we were to listen to our body anyways. And I think for an entrepreneur, it's the greatest thing because you can fit your schedule around your work schedule. And so, as I said, the entrepreneurs, we're doing everything, right? We don't have this time to do it. And so with intermittent fasting, you can create your schedule, right? So a lot of us think, all right, well, if I'm going to be healthy, Jill, it's going to take a lot of my time, right? I'm going to have to go to 10 different grocery health food stores. I'm going to have to sit in the kitchen and cook all of these meals. Who has got time for that? I don't. And I don't either. Right? And so intermittent fasting takes all of that away from you, right? It takes all that pressure to cook 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. I've been talking us. You can't be talking on the phone if you're munching on carrots, I always say. So with intermittent fasting, there's a lot of flexibility. You get to choose the hours that you eat. So with that 16-8 method, for 8 hours of the day, you have what I call this eating window. And in that eating window, you get to choose what to eat and how much to eat. And then for 16 hours, you fast for the most part. There are a couple little things you can drink, but for the most part, you do what I call a clean fast. And we just drink some water, maybe some water with some oils and so forth. Now, I'm a night owl. So for me, I go to bed really late and I sleep in a little bit. So my eating window is from about 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. But, for other people, like, you mentioned people maybe are still working a 9 to 5. So you can get up, wait a little bit. And then all you have to do is I always say, wait maybe 3-4 hours, just a couple of little extra hours than you normally would have. And then start eating. And maybe your window is from 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 12 to 8 p.m. The great thing is you can switch it every day depending upon what you've got going on for you. So that's, one way I think you can save time with intermittent fasting. But I think the other way is, we talked, is that how often do people say we're bad, right? We ate some piece of cake or we splurged on second helpings and we call ourselves bad or weak. And that really tears us down mentally. That takes a lot of mental energy, that guilty feeling. That takes a lot of time away from when we could be really focusing on our gifts when we're sitting there beating ourselves up. So, with intermittent fasting, you can literally have the junk food. You can have, a little bit of alcohol, not all the time. I am absolutely proponent of healthy lifestyle, but knowing that you can have those and not feel guilty and not beat yourself up, it gives you the physical time and the mental time back that maybe you didn't have. That you've just wasted all of these years beating yourself up over that.
I'm loving it. So step number 1 is intermittent fasting. Is that what I heard?
Absolutely. Intermittent fasting and just finding your groove with it, finding your ideal schedule and, making it work for you.
I love it. I love it. What's easy step number 2?
Well, so with intermittent fasting, I saw my books, my programs, everything I do incorporates essential oils. It's woven through everything I do.
Okay.
And so, when you're sitting there around and you're eating junky food and you're not feeling very good, right? You have your whole mental state goes down, right? Your energy levels go down, your frequency levels goes down. And so the quickest, easiest way I know to pick myself back up and get that physical and mental energy is with my oils. Like I literally right here, I've got my peppermint, my envision, my rosemary for some memory, some motivation oil. Like literally they're right by my side all day long. And so for people who don't really know about what essential oils are, just very briefly, first of all, they can be something that's used for your physical, your emotional, your spiritual, your hormonal well-being. And they come from the plants, the trees, the flowers, and the oil is just carefully extracted from the plants, distilled and bottled. And how the oils work in nature, they help to heal and protect in nature, and they can do the same things for us as well. So some essential oils out there, they can literally boost our energy levels. Peppermint, never far from my heart. It's always nearby. I can just open it up, take a little sniff. And the thing about essential oils is they work really quickly. When you sniff an oil, it goes straight through your olfactory system, right to your limbic system, which is your emotional system. And in less than about 30, 40 seconds, you're already starting to feel a change. When you put an essential oil on your body, within about 2 minutes, it's in your bloodstream, and you're already starting to feel a change. So if you're kind of, I know for a lot of us, maybe you kind of aren't eating all that well, and 2 o'clock food coma comes on after, having lunch and things like that, and you need that, like, mental pick-me-up. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so, to grab an oil and just quickly, change that and pick yourself up is so easy. You can put a drop in your water and drink it all down. I know for myself, even just to get on here today, right? It takes energy to get up here. You gotta be excited, you gotta be motivated, you gotta share yourself, so using my oils like that to kind of prep myself and get up. So you have a big call that you're gonna get on. Maybe you've got a sales call or something that you really wanna, hype yourself up for. Grab those essential oils, like, an essential oil like energy and motivation. And just really, you can put it in the diffuser, you can put it on and just kind of affect your whole day. One of my clients, she is a busy coach, and, she is just on calls, Zoom calls all day long, like left and right. She's a self-described foodie. When I talked to her about intermittent fasting, she was like, there's no way I am gonna have any energy if I can't have my eggs and my toast and my coffee with all the fixins in it. And I said, just give me a little while. Just let me see if you can do it. And now, like 2.5 years later, we just laugh at how resistant she was. Every morning she just wakes up, puts on her oils, plays tennis for a couple of hours, takes her shower, starts her work day, gets on her calls. She's feeling a little like, foggy, grabs her clarity oil during the day. She gets a little stressed out, grabs her stress away oil. And then by 3, 4 o'clock, as her day is starting to wind down, she can then open up her window and eat. And it has been she has told me it has literally changed her life, but also changed her business, because she's not sitting there starving on a call or hangry on a call, that feeling when you're hungry and angry. So that to me is just one of the easiest things that somebody can do to help their physical and mental energy right away.
I'm loving it. I'm loving the ideas. I'm loving the energy for those folks that are out there. We're going into number 3. She gave you number 1 was to make sure you do the intermittent fasting. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, fasting. That was number 1. She talked about that in detail. And then step number 2, or idea number 2 she gave, was the essential oils and why they're important. And then she goes to give us number 3, by the way, to help you skyrocket your results so that you have the energy, you have the vitality, you have the focus, and you have the stamina to do all the things you want to do. Do me a favor. Hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. No matter what platform you're watching this on right now, you can pay this message forward to someone else. Maybe this is touching you, and that's cool. Maybe you're like, I'm good, Shay. I don't need this, but you can still pay it forward to someone else out there. They're looking for, how can I improve myself so I can serve other folks? With that being said, I love what you're doing. I'm sitting in the front room over here. Give us number 3. You said you give us 3 easy wellness practices to skyrocket our business results. Please share number 3, please.
Yeah. So we covered more time, we covered more physical energy. So the last thing I feel like entrepreneurs need is more confidence. So if you've started the intermittent fasting, you're going to feel a little bit more confident because you're looking better. You've incorporated the essential oils, you're mentally feeling better. But there's still a lot that we have to do as entrepreneurs, I think, to put ourselves out there, right? To actually get on live in front of the camera, to pick up the phone and call a phone call that maybe we don't want to make. We need a little bit of confidence. And for me, the thing that I have always done is it's all about like self-talk, about feeding our minds. We can, we talk a lot about feeding our bodies, well, in order for it to thrive, but we also have to feed our minds some good things. So it too will do what we want it to do and give us that confidence. So the best way and the easiest way that I know how to do that is with just positive mindset talking. So like some people call it affirmations, whatever you want to call it, but just using words to change your mind. Because the truth is everything begins with a thought. Your brain doesn't know one thing from another. It only knows what you tell it. And so my way of helping me feel more confident every single day is waking up. I kind of go and I grab, whatever oil it is. I'll put a drop in my hand, take my couple of sniffs, and then I will literally look myself in the mirror. Some people like to do a power pose. Maybe I'll put my hands on my hips or hands up to the air or something like that. And then I'll just look myself directly in the eye, whether I believe it or not. And I will tell myself, you are awesome. You are beautiful. You can do anything. Whatever it is that I want to be, that's what I tell myself. And I say it over and over. I always say no less than 10 times. And I don't have to believe it as long as my brain believes it. And so I have a program, it's called the Win at Weight Loss 6-week program. And, of course, you can teach people, you can go anywhere to get this information. You can read my books, Google about intermittent fasting, about essential oils, all of that stuff. But if you don't change what's in your mind, then none of that really matters. And so in my Win at Weight Loss program, sure, they get the information, but even more importantly, we really work on flipping that switch, on changing your mind. And I talk to them about taking what's called we call it a winner's walk, where for 10 minutes, during your day, you just go out there and you walk, and you're not allowed to think about anything except for what your wins are for the day. And so when you start thinking about your wins that you've had that day or your wins in the past, any kind of lack of confidence you had, you start to say, well, if I did that once, it means I probably can do it again. And that confidence just starts to build. And so with these 3 tips, the intermittent fasting, the essential oils, and using these positive mindset words or your affirmations, you really can build an empire. The truth is the number one killer of women over 50, and probably men too, is heart attacks from stress and all of that. So, unless we kind of get our health and our wellness under control, you're not making any money if you're sick or dead, right? So let's be realistic, and I'll just keep saying it over and over. Health is your wealth. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in my
health is your wealth. Do me a favor if you're out there. Look right below the video, and write those words. Your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. With that being said, we're moving to a segment now called Today is My January 1st. And today is my January 1st. It's one of those philosophies that we have. It's a core value that we hold here. And for those folks that know what I'm about to do, you can look right below the video as well. And you can write today is my January 1st. That's right. And for those folks who want to know, Shay, what are you talking about? I'm hearing this for the first time. Today is my January 1st. Let me frame the conversation. Represents one of those decisions that you don't wait for it to say January 1st on the calendar. That's already come and gone, by the way. You create a January 1st moment every single time you make a decision, and that decision can forever change the trajectory of your life. So you make a decision, let's say, and it's probably 1,000+ decisions that you make, and as soon as you make the decision, it changes the trajectory of your life. You make a decision that you're going to work out, which he's advocating right now. Or you're going to sit back and you're going to binge watch. You're going to watch Netflix. That's pretty cool. Or you make a decision that you're going to eat these hamburgers and these French fries and salt and pepper and ketchup. And I'll tell you, my son's like hot sauce on theirs. Or you make a decision. You're going to do exactly what you heard Jill say over there. You're going to go over to the refrigerator. You're going to open up the refrigerator. And inside the refrigerator, there's some kale. Sounds good, doesn't it? There's some Brussels sprouts. I know you love it. You love it. She said carrots, but I'm going to go with some broccoli. Yes. That's a January 1st moment. And so my question to Jill, as she's sitting over there listening, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. Today is a do-over. It's a fresh start. My past does not equal my future. What goes through your mind, Jill? What are you hearing?
Yeah. You and I have, it's a great question and a great philosophy that you have. And it actually came up for me specifically in my Midlife Mojo Facebook group. Every Monday, I do a Midlife Mojo Mondays education.
Yeah.
And I actually changed my topic this week because I saw somebody in my group post, today is January 4th. It's my January 1st. And January 4th was Monday. And I thought, of course, right? We always have this, my January 1st, my Monday, this like far off date in the future that oftentimes never comes, right? There's no perfect time to take action. And when we assign this random date in the future, all we're doing is just putting it off, right? We're just kind of using it as a way to procrastinate. And I am a huge believer in taking inspired action. Taking action when you have the thought to take action. When you like sit around and you say, okay, I'm all excited, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna wait until, January 1st. And if we wait until January 1st now, we're waiting a long time, right? So, by the time you even, if you even do it,
Yeah.
by the time you do it, that same kind of oomph, that same kind of power that you had, excitement, just isn't the same anymore, right? Time truly is the killer of dreams. And so when you say, I'm going to wait a day, you're literally squashing your own dreams. You're literally telling the universe, yes, I want it, but, maybe not right now, right? And so, let's face it, life always gets in the way of our plans. And, I, unfortunately, a little over a year ago, I had a very close friend of mine, only 42 years old, pass away. And that has really changed my whole perception on this. I just always think to myself, like, what were the things she didn't get to do? What were the things that had she known her life was going to be cut short, what if she just taken action on, like right away? We're not promised tomorrow, and it never comes. So why not take action today? Because you're going to miss your chance otherwise. And, this thought has really propelled me forward. And it just helps me take like little baby steps. It doesn't have to be these big, like, okay, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this month. It's just taking little actions like, using an oil or changing little foods you eat or, maybe getting out there and walking the dog. But taking action when the inspiration hits, that is to me what, my January 1st really looks like.
Yeah, I love it. There are folks out there and they're saying, today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And they're excited. They really are. Just like they were back on December 31st, by the way. After a couple drinks on the back of a napkin, they were writing down all these things that were going to happen. And we're only 6 days in, or 8 days, I think 8 or 9 days in this year, and they already forgot about those. And so my question to you is something that you've heard. It's a timeless saying, but I always say there's truth inside of truisms. There's truth inside of truisms, and here it is. That consistency is the key. You've heard that. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with most? They struggle with consistency, and I got both hands up. So my question to you is, what do you share with your clients to be consistent? And hearing what you're saying is making intellectual sense. Now they've got to go execute. What's your secret to being consistent?
Well, Shay, for years in my business, I've always had like this saying, it's by John Maxwell, and he says, you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. And I absolutely believe that, but let's face it, it's easier said than done, right? If it was easy to do, we'd all be doing that. So for me, consistency is really about support and accountability. Like you said, they knew all this stuff, right? This is not wellness. I'm not probably like blowing anybody's mind with my tips, right? They probably heard of some of these things. But it's not enough to know, you need to do. And in order to do, a lot of times you need, especially entrepreneurs, right? We're living in our own little bubble. We need that support. We need the accountability. My Win at Weight Loss 6-week program, that's, it's called, my tag for that is conquering the never-ending dieting cycle for good. For good. For good is our lifetime, right? So what are we going to do? How are we going to make that happen? So, I feel that, when you get support and accountability, like when you look to somebody who's been where you've been, they've walked that walk already, they can give you, first of all, make it a little bit of a shortcut for you, but you can also just follow in their footsteps. And then when you do it in kind of a group setting, there's something about that group dynamic, that group energy. When you see somebody else doing it, it makes you believe you can. Also, it kind of gives you that, well, I don't want to let anybody else down. And so I feel like in order to be consistent, you need a place to check in on a daily basis. Part of my Win at Weight Loss program, I have this Facebook group, and so many of the girls, they don't even use it for anything else. They say that they're done with Facebook, but every morning they wake up and they look in there to see the morning. I always do like a morning affirmation and a morning question just to get them thinking. And that's been their consistent thing that's helped them start their day. So it's just taking one small thing that you can be consistent about and then building from there. But, doing it with somebody else with that support is a lot more fun and a lot more, I believe, doable for life.
I would agree. Folks are watching right now, and they're listening, and maybe listening from two different perspectives. And so this is a dual question. One is, what type of clients is Jill's firm taking on right now? Some of you're listening with that, and as you listen, you might be wondering, am I the type of client, or should I refer her on to someone else? So let's find out what type of clients you listen to. And then there's a second piece that's on their mind is, how do I stay in the conversation with Jill? How do I best connect with her? What does she want to do for me if she's listening right now? So Jill's a two-part question. One, what type of clients do you work with? And number two, how can they best connect with you?
Sure. Well, you hear me say midlife women. So that definitely is my crowd, the women over 40. But specifically, I work with women who are open-minded, like-minded, and are looking for natural solutions. So I'm not looking for people who are wanting just to pop a pill or looking for the quick fix. I'm looking for people who are really looking for a full lifestyle change. And so, wellness isn't just about, what you eat or what you eat. It's about your whole life. So I'm looking for people really who are looking to find their midlife mojo. And specifically women who are looking over 40 who are looking to find their midlife mojo. And you can do that by, number one, I'd love for people to join my Midlife Mojo Facebook group. I've got over 900 women in there, and we're in there daily just sharing and cheering each other on. And then you can also go to my website, which is my name, JillLebofsky.com. And you can go in there and you can see I've got about, 13 different info products that I've written specifically for the midlife woman to help her thrive during these years. And then right now, my big thing that I'm doing in 2021 is this, you've heard me mention it a few times, this Win at Weight Loss 6-week course. And I'm starting, I believe this Sunday, I'm doing a free webinar to kind of talk to people a little bit more about some simple, easy ways that they can start to lose weight and make it lasting weight, and then help teach them a little bit more about what that program is all about. And so if you want to connect with me, definitely go to my website, JillLebofsky.com, find me on Facebook, and get connected for sure, and join me on that webinar this week.
I love it. We're moving into, and I'm going to suggest you all connect with Jill right away. Connect with her right away. She's amazing. And best case scenario, it changes your life. Second best case scenario, you change someone else's life. You can do this. You can do this. I know you can do this. Jill, we're moving to a segment now called Rapid Fire. And Rapid Fire is when we get to ask whatever questions on our mind, and you have an opportunity to answer, or you can pause, obviously. And the first question I'm asking that I like to toss out there every single time is, of all the mentors you've had along this journey of life, what's one of the lessons you learned from any one of your mentors that you would like to share with us? Now, for you at home, you watching wherever you are, listening wherever you are, it doesn't matter what time it is and whether you're live or listen to the replay, you can lean into your camera now. And you can put your hand out and say thank you, because she's going to share a gift with you right now that can help you. Jill, what's one of the lessons you learned from one of your mentors that you're going to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So mentors can come in different, shapes and forms. And so mine comes in the form of a woman who was one of my clients, who's now one of my best friends. And I met her when I was 40 and she was 65. I'm now 50. She's now 75. And she told me, and she continues to tell me, and I take this for you people over there who are over 40, over 50.
Yes!
As you get older, you get to care less about what others think of you, right? And that to me has been the best gift, the best word of advice, because as entrepreneurs, we put ourselves out there and it's not always that easy. I talk about some pretty, taboo subjects about, women's sex life and their hormones and all this. And when I was starting out to have to, go out there on my personal Facebook, knowing my, old boyfriends from high school, my sister's, mother-in-laws on there, all these people, I'm like, what am I going to be doing, and so forth. And so this gift of getting older and not having just to care so much about what anybody else thinks and just to be able to be me, do me, and, they can take it or they like it. If I'm for you, join me, and if I'm not, turn the channel. And that to me has been the biggest gift of freedom, really. And so I'm so grateful for her.
I love it. What has been one of your keys to success?
One of my keys to success, I think, honestly, is my persistence. Like, I just don't stop. Like, I may fall down. I may beat myself up. If you were to talk to my husband, and he's probably listening in the other room, he can tell you how many times I have marched in there and been like, that's it, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. Let me just do your business. I'll just do your business, okay? And I'll help you, right? And then, 2 days later, I've got 3 new programs I've just launched. And he's like, what? I thought you were quitting, And so for me, it's just all about, believing in myself. Like, I know, even through all the doubt and through all the baloney I may, put myself through, I truly know at my core, I was put on this earth for a reason, and that reason is to make a difference. And when I, know that I have impacted somebody else, that is what fills my cup. Like, I'm not joking, Shannon. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but literally not a week goes by that somebody doesn't write me a note or shoot me off an email, saying that they read my book or I said something that changed their life for them. And so for me, that's it. That's my persistence, and I'm just not going to quit because there are people out there who need me. And so that's it.
I love it. People are looking over your shoulder on the left-hand side, and they're wondering, you have that plaque up that says love, wish, dream, be, create, give, smile, a bunch of words on it. Live, share. Take a moment and share, why that's so important to you. They can see it over your shoulder, and obviously you have it there for a reason. So they're like, okay, what does that mean to her when she sees that? What goes to her mind? What's the encouragement and motivation that Jill has that we too can walk with? We've been looking at it the whole time. So yeah, that's a fair question, I think.
I think, we all get caught up in our businesses, so much and making money or our clients or this, that. But really, that's the core of it all. That to me, if you are feeling like you have a dream, right, and you can be and do and have all you want, then you're successful. Like, it doesn't matter what the bank account says. It doesn't matter what, some leaderboard says. When you can love yourself, when you can dream big, and when you can just, share with others your message, then you really are successful. And so I just want people to know that it's not about the things, it's about who we are that is our true success.
Sure. Talk about the importance of collaboration, the importance of having support and working with other folks. You and I were brought together because Faith James is someone who could have said, let me hold people that I have to myself at a time when people are being stingy with their networks and who they have. She's like, well, let's share. Let's get out there and let's make sure we work together. So I guess it's a 2-part question, the importance of working together. And then secondly, this whole notion of collaborating because there's a law of abundance out there. What's your view of the world?
Yeah, well, big believer here, and again, I know your audience is men and women, and so this goes for anybody, but, specifically, for women, I feel like we need to lock arms and we need to walk through this world strong together. And women supporting women is literally what my whole mission is. I strive to be the #1 support, education, and resource center for women, and I can't be it all, right? My zone of genius is the health, the wellness area, but that's not all about what Mojo is. Mojo is your style. Mojo is your career, your relationships, all these other things. And so that's where, for me, collaboration is key. I love bringing other professionals onto my Midlife Mojo Mondays or my Women with Mojo interview show, or just bringing their courses and their webinars to my audience, because I feel like, when we do it alone, we're not giving everybody everything that they can have. But when we can, as a whole, bring in people from all different areas, that's where like we can make real change for our clients, not in this just one little area, you know, expertise that we have. But when we open up our network to others, you know, then we can definitely see our clients have this whole body change. And then of course we're now exposed to their whole network of people. So as you said, the law of abundance, it's like this huge ripple effect that just keeps going and going and going. And that's what I know for myself, that's what I'm after.
Second to last question. What do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world, by the way?
I'm not out saving the world. Well, I said I'm a dog mom of 2, so definitely dogs are my world. That is my fun. My husband and I like to go out and, you know, take them on hikes, go traveling with them. But I also, and it was actually my very first entrepreneurial venture a million years ago, but I love to scrapbook. You know, there's something about, you know, just going back through our times and our memories and putting them down in paper. And so, you know, and I love it too, because even my child just came home and brought his new girlfriend home. He's like, Moms, where's my baby scrapbook? You know, it's something that to me is just fun doing it, and it's fun sharing it after the fact, even, you know, 20 years later, you know, the picture of his naked tushy, and you know, he's all excited to share. And, you know, and that's just my fun, is doing something really just creative. And playing with my pups. I love just both of those things. You know, fill up my cup as well.
Well, let me say, number one, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. I've learned so much during this segment. I wish we had more time, but we'll definitely have to have you back. You're totally incredible. I'm going to encourage all of you out there watching right now, do me a favor, hit the share button. Like, take the link right now and pay this message forward. The way you can give a digital applause is by hitting the share button, hitting the watch party button, and paying this message forward to someone else that's out there right now. I want to turn it over to you again, how amazing you are, to have your final thoughts, to share whatever's on your heart. And we've got to have you back. So once again, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. And I can't wait to make sure I do the fasting. I can't wait to make sure I try those oils, by the way. And more importantly, can't wait to use the extra energy I have to serve more folks. Over to you.
Yeah. So, you know, first of all, thank you all so much for tuning in to the end. And I hope that you did hear what I'm saying about that health is your wealth, right? And hear what I'm saying as my final words of don't do it alone, right? As entrepreneurs, we don't have to do everything alone. If I had one thing that I could say to you is find yourself your people to surround yourself with who are going in the same direction that you are when it comes to your health and wellness. If fasting isn't your thing, then find what is your thing. But take the action today. Like right after this, we talked about inspired action. As soon as this is over, go find whatever that first step is going to be for you to get that health and wellness in control, and find the people and the support and the accountability that can help you get there. And thank you again, Shay, so much for just giving me this opportunity to share my message. And I just wish everybody a happy, healthy new year. And thank you again.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, and we appreciate every single one of you watching. I want you to know, as you're listening right now, that you're amazing. I want you to know that you're incredible. I want you to know that you can take those steps, and that today is your January 1st. You're going to start using those 3 wellness tips. Today, in fact, is your January 1st. You can be back on track again with the fasting, with the making sure you use the essential oils. Make sure you contact her. Find out those essential oils. That peppermint. I heard her say like 3 times. I'm like, I love the peppermint soap from Whole Foods. I love it. Oh my gosh. So make sure you connect with her. And I want you to know that you have greatness inside you, and that for you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, for those folks who know what my name is, by the way, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So we got to live in that moment, and we got to make it count. God bless, and we wish you success. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later. You rock. We'll see y'all out. We're out of here. Peace. Love you all. Bye-bye for now. Bye.
promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Check.
Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Man.
Got money on my mind, I can never
Man.
get enough. And every time I step
Man.
up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. If you doing it, put your hands.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.